Hello everybody, happy Sunday. It's Rhonda Hagen. For those of you who don't know me, if you're watching live on Facebook, then make sure you give me a shout out and a hello. If you have any questions, make sure you add them in the comments. And also, if you're watching from Instagram and you like what you see, make sure you give me a follow. If you are watching from YouTube or TikTok, make sure you do the same, subscribe if you like. Anyways, so I thought I would talk about making simple syrups. And simple syrups are like this kind of syrups you find in the coffee shops or that you can get that are in the pumps, so you can make your fancy coffees and tea lattes and things like that. You can also use them to make cocktails. And they make amazing cocktails, amazing fancy lattes. You can do them make them for pennies, and you can control how much sugar or what kind of substitute you have in your simple syrups by making your own. And it saves so much money by making your own. You can create amazing drinks at home. And I'm all about saving money these days. I don't know about you. Okay, so what I'm going to start with is you're basically making a simple syrup with a 1-to-1 ratio of sugar and water. Now, if you decide to use a substitute, then you're going to make sure you have the proper sugar to substitute ratio, because there's a lot of sweeteners that you don't need very much compared to sugar. And so I'll show you what I use, and you can use whatever you want to use. Okay, so we start off with a cup of water, and I'm just going to get that boiling, and then I'll talk about the rest in a minute. So I'm just going to turn that to high, and once that's boiling, then we can start adding our sugar or sweetener, and then after it's dissolved, the tea. Okay, so what I'm making today is I'm going to be making the peppermint mocha. I'm going to be doing a fancy drink later on, so watch for that. So when I use I use a small pot, but I personally prefer the steeping sacks because then you can lay them flat. And when you're steeping your tea, you always want to make sure there's room in the water for the tea leaves to dance around, and then it just is a more flavorful tea or syrup. But you can totally use an infuser. If you have an infuser and you don't have these steeping sacks, you just set it in, use the smallest pot that you can, and then you just sit it in the water and the sugar or sweetener. Okay, so I'll talk about the different sweeteners. Oh geez, keep hitting my button. Okay, so I like to use a few different sweeteners. They're more natural, and I have stomach upset by some sweeteners, so I make sure I purchase the ones that are easy on my tummy. I personally like Truvia. I feel like it bakes and tastes very similar to sugar, and it doesn't have a weird aftertaste. It's basically, I believe, 1 cup of sugar to half a cup of, I believe, just 1 second, I'll double check. This 1 cup is half cup, so it's half the amount of sugar that you would need in this. I use even a little bit less than that often, but I also like using monk fruit. I buy this and monk fruit usually in the grocery stores and Walmart. They have them readily available in many places. My favorite though is allulose, and you can buy that from Amazon. You might be able to buy it other places too, but I know it's not sold in Canada yet, so you'd have to buy it from the States. So you'd be buying, I believe, the American Amazon, but you can look around. But yeah, I find allulose completely, it gives me no stomach upset, and I do not taste any different whatsoever than sugar. So I prefer that. I'm hoping it becomes available readily in Canada soon. But this is really good. I do enjoy Truvia. Okay, so what else to say? After we're done the syrups, Sopology has these flasks that I like to use. It's perfect for making 1 serving of simple syrups, and this just stays in the fridge for a very long time. I usually have a few of them on the go, and then I can make drinks whenever I want, whether it be cocktails or fancy lattes. and I think it comes in a set of 3, if I'm not mistaken, from Sapology. But you can use any kind of flask whatsoever. It doesn't have to be a Sapology. So it's boiling now, so I'm just going to turn this off. And then I'm going to add my Truvia. I'm using half a cup, like I said. You would use 1 cup of sugar. I haven't tried using honey yet, but I think you could use honey as well. And I haven't tried maple syrup or anything like that. You can maybe Google that if people use that for making simple syrups. I'm sure it's on the internet somewhere. Okay, so that's all it takes. It's all dissolved now. So now I'm going to put in my steeping sack. Oh, this is amazing. I love this peppermint mocha. It's got, oh, the smell is amazing. It's so good. Okay, so I'm putting 2 tablespoons of tea leaves. You can use any tea leaves whatsoever. You can use caffeinated or fruit teas. For making Italian sodas, I really like the fruit teas, but for our caffeinated lattes and stuff, peppermint mocha is really good. So what I'm going to do is I put, I think I put 2 of these in here. Just let me double check. I'm losing it, guys. No, I did. There's two tablespoons in here, and I'm just going to kind of flatten it and make sure it has room to dance. And I'm going to put the time according to the tea bag, the bag of tea, and this is a black tea, so I'm going to steep it for 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm going to put this on 3 minutes, and then it'll be ready. Yeah. So like I said, simple syrups make amazing cocktails. They make amazing Italian sodas. You can use them to make cocktail mix. I often will add it to different alcohol and say Sprite or soda water, and I'll just add a simple syrup to that to flavor. And of course the tea lattes, it's amazing for that as well. I would think you'd even be able to make milkshakes and things with that as well. But anything that any kind of drink that you would add a simple syrup, you can use your tea simple syrups. And there's a ton of different flavors. So I challenge you to make your own at home and save some money. And anyways, so, hey Justin, what is Justin saying? Yummy girl, oh my gosh, he's flirting with his wife. My husband's watching in the other room. So we're almost done here. We've got a minute left. So yeah, put in the comments, what are your favorite drinks for the season? Do you buy simple syrups at home for making coffee, cappuccinos, lattes, drinks at home, or do you just purchase them at the big box centers like Starbucks and McDonald's and Tim Hortons and stuff? I'm just curious to know if you make them at home or if you only make them out. But I don't know about you, but I was shocked when I watched a documentary recently on how much sugar there is in our name brand cafes. It's quite crazy how many teaspoons of sugar we're drinking when we go out to splurge. I'm not against going to any of those places, but definitely if you drink them on a regular basis, it can add up the amount of sugar that we're drinking, and that's not good. Occasionally I don't mind, but when it's a lot, it's pretty crazy. Okay, so this is pretty much done. So what I'm going to do is I like to squeeze the outside, oh, let's see, I'm going to move this camera so you can see what I'm doing. I just take my spatula, hey Susan, and I just squeeze the side of the bag, or I would just really shake the infuser, and then it's ready. So then all I do is I pour it into a flask. Oh, I'm making a big mess. You can also put this into like a funnel, a little bit extra, but it's pretty much 1 serving goes in here. But yeah, use any flask you have at home, and it takes like seriously just a couple minutes, and you can keep that in the fridge for a long time. at least a month, if not longer. It's just sugar and tea leaves. As long as they're refrigerated, it should last for quite a long time. But I doubted it would even last a month because you drink it faster than that. Anyways, that's all I have to say, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this live. And yeah, if you have any questions, throw them in the comments. Hope you're having an amazing day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.